Hello there, dear YouTubers. My name is King1993, and today I'll be talking about another thing about this game. And today's topic will be about the weapons in this game. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Now, when it comes to the weapon, today I'll be talking about the rifles. Okay, now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are total 5 rifles, or let's say machine gun, whichever it is called here. And first of all, let's talk about this color. Now, when it comes to the color, to understand that green has lower capacity than the blue has lower capacity than the purple. Okay, and if there are some weapons where there is purple and gold, so purple will have lower capacity than the gold. Okay, so these are the whole thing. Not only the clip capacity, rather the damage output is also gonna be different. Okay, so for example, let's say I have chosen this one and done this green and this one blue. So let's see what happens. Okay, so if I were to be shooting this, it is basically doing damage of 20. This one is doing 21 and this one is doing 22. Okay, so that basically means that each of this weapon color indicates how much damage it is doing. Now another thing is the clip capacity for the green one is 35, the clip capacity for the blue one is 40, and the clip capacity of the purple one is 45. Similarly, if there were to be weapons such as this type, like purple versus gold, then gold will have more damage and more clip capacity than the purple. Okay. Now, let's talk about the rifles. Now, today I'll be talking about, as I said, these 5 rifles only. Okay. Now, let's start with tactical one, then assault. Sorry, not assault, pulse, and then I'll be talking about this light rifle. Okay. So, why these two in general? Okay, just stay quiet and listen to what I have to say. Okay, now let's go to a certain ground to actually test them. Now let's say a distance of 15 meters. So in 15-meter distance, this weapon is still very inaccurate. Okay, 35 meters distance. In 35-meter distance, this weapon is very inaccurate. Like even if you were to go extremely near them, even after then it is still very inaccurate. Okay, but the thing about this tactical weapon is if there were to be real enemy pilot on the field, then this weapon can actually continuously target those enemy pilot. So if you plan on using a weapon in the game right after let's say going into the battleground, then this tactical SFG is a very good option. So afterwards, let's say you have a very good option to get another weapon besides this tactical SMG, then which one would you get? The second one which you will get is this pulse rifle. Why? Because unlike a tactical rifle, this pulse rifle has a very high damage output as well as very high accuracy. As you can see here, the damage accuracy is very high, and the damage and accuracy is very high, and even in long range damage the accuracy is also very good. Okay, and that's the thing. But what is the problem with the pulse rifle? The problem with the pulse rifle is it has a, what should I call it, a certain attack pattern which basically causes this mecha to actually stop for 1 second. Now I do not know what this is called in the military topic. Like this is called semi-automatic. So it basically shoots up to a certain while and then it will stop. So every 1 second it stops, it basically gives the enemy pilot to actually get away from the site, and that is problematic. Okay. Now, if I were to be getting a weapon that is better than this pulse rifle, which one is the better? Obviously, this light rifle. Why? Because this light rifle has high ammo capacity than the pulse rifle. Not only that, this light rifle is also very fast. For example, it doesn't stop until all of the ammo is out. Okay, and when it comes to the accuracy is also very high. For example, as you can probably see, the accuracy is also very high. So if you want to go for accuracy and damage output as well as shooting for a continuous well, then obviously this light rifle is a very good option. Now what is the best option? The best option is this assault rifle. Why? Because compared to light rifle, which has a total ammo capacity of 35, this assault rifle has a clip capacity of 40, and not only that, damage is also high. For example, the light rifle has a damage output of 60, whereas the assault rifle has a damage output of 67. Okay, Now what about long distance target? For long distance target, as you can see here, it can basically attack long range target very well. So from that point of perspective, this assault rifle is a very good option. Now what about this Mediator Gun? Now this Mediator Gun is one of those weapons I rather not use in long range, rather even in mid range and short range. Okay, not short range, in mid range this weapon is still very problematic. Okay, let's say about 100 meters. 100 meters is considered as a very good distance. Okay, let's say 60 meters. So if a certain enemy were to appear in 60 meters, I cannot hit them. See, even in mid range, this weapon is actually unreliable. What about short range? Like 35 meters away. In short range, this weapon is actually a very good weapon. It can basically hit the enemy pilots or mecha very easily. Okay. Now another thing would be, let's say, what is this weapon? This weapon is considered as a anti-mecha and anti-pilot weapon. Both can be killed by using this Mediator machine gun. So when it comes to overall damage output to the enemy pilot or to the enemy mecha, both of these, this Mediator machine gun is actually a very good option. As you can see here, it is doing a large quantity of damage to the enemy mecha within a very short period of time. Whereas if I were to use this light rifle, or let's say not light rifle, let's say this assault rifle, this assault rifle is still gonna take a large quantity of time to actually kill the enemy mecha. Okay, as you probably saw that all of the rounds has ended, but the overall durability of the mecha remains more than 50%. So that is basically an indication that this Mediator machine gun is actually the best weapon to kill enemy mechas and enemy pilot in the short range. Okay, so if you were to tell me, okay, then what is my best recommended option when it comes to these rifles in destroying the pilots? Okay, the first one is the assault rifle. Okay, because it has high accuracy, high clip, and high damage output. Then the second best one is this one. This one is basically a lower version of this assault rifle, and this one is basically a very good quality one. But the main problem with this one, it has a triple shot rifle. This is a triple shot rifle, and the problem with this one is it has a 1 second of cooldown, and because of that 1 second cooldown, your enemy pilots might get away from you. Okay, and this one is extremely good at short range only. That's the whole problem with this one, that it is very inaccurate and it can only detect enemy pilot, and only in enemy pilot can this tactical SMG will become useful. Okay, so if you were to tell me, okay, which one do I use in the battle royale? In the battle royale, I use this one a lot more compared to any of these other. But if I were to get this Mediator machine gun, then I use this Mediator machine gun immediately after this one, because by the time I get this weapon, it is basically almost to the mid game or end game of the battle royale, which is why I try to get this Mediator machine gun as much as possible. But if after learning about this method a lot, I realized that there is nothing better than this assault rifle. Okay, so that is overall my conclusion of which type of rifle type of weapon you should be using in this game to actually gain a higher advantage in defeating your enemies. Okay, so if you like this game, if you like this advice of which type of rifle you should be using, then please give a like and subscribe and click the bell notification icons to get more of this type of topic on a regular basis. And before going away, let me show you tricks which I do on a regular basis. So basically, let's say if there were to be a pilot in the team deathmatch, this is another option. Okay, by doing so, you are basically aiming at the enemy pilot to make sure that they die easily. And obviously, you can probably see that while in flying, you are gonna be getting less accuracy. It doesn't matter which type of weapon you use. When you are flying, your accuracy is gonna be extremely low. So be careful of that. Okay, and goodbye and stay safe.